I was going to buy something Halloweenish at Burlington, but they have a line, and I waited in the line for about 10 minutes, and we didn't go anywhere. I mean, the line goes past the regular amount and onto the floor, right? Onto the sales floor, right? And when I was walking out after I put my two items back, they were Halloween clearance items. I noticed that there was only one cashier. So I'm not waiting in line for no hour or whatever because of one cashier. That's just ridiculous. Can't they call somebody? Can't they call some of the associates stocking? Call them? I don't see any associates stocking. So I don't see any associates in the store at all. So I'm trying to figure out what the problem is. Manager, if you got any managers, where you at? Because you need to be on at the cash register. If you got any stocking associates, they should have stayed, even if it's past their shift time to leave. Because no, when you had that many people going through line, you need to have some more than one cash register open. I mean, what is the point of having like 6 or 7 cash registers and then only going to have one cashier and one cash register open? It's ridiculous. I don't know why all these people are out shopping. Like Monday, Tuesday, like all week this week, people have been out shopping. Like, where do they get the money to shop? Like, don't they have jobs? Like, come on. Seriously. Because it looks like with the shortage of cashiers that they need to bump up their game of cashiers. You should never have the front end with less than 2 cashiers ever anyway, period. Point blank, nada, zilch. So I don't know where the cashiers are at, but where the cashiers at? Where the management at? Because managers, y'all need to get your butts off the butt in the back room and get your butts up on the cash registers. I had the same problem at Ross. That's why there was a long line at Ross. Luckily, I had a couple of items, and the items I had at Ross, I'd rather have spent a line in than the items that. I've seen this like plenty of places. TJ Maxx is the same way. They had a long line. I bought 3 things from them. It was a Halloween clearance candy, but they had like 3 registers, so they know how to deal with this. But seriously, I'm out here. Oh, and if you do not go to Spirit Halloween tonight or tomorrow night, or I don't care. Seriously, if you're gonna go get there when it opens tomorrow morning, because there is a line. You will be in line for an hour just to get inside Spirit Halloween to shop, and then you don't know how long the people are going to shop inside of Spirit Halloween. And it's not even got a 50% off sale going on right now. So just do not go to Spirit Halloween. But seriously, why is all of these people out shopping? In Memphis, I think what happened, of the reason why I think what happened in Memphis and why people have been out today and tomorrow and yesterday and probably going to be out tomorrow, the reason is normally people wouldn't be out in all this rainy, bad weather, right? So what happened is somebody hit a pole in Memphis. The news forgot to tell us about it, and it caused a blackout, which blacked out a whole lot of the area of Memphis because it blocked out blocked out. It blocked out, yeah, because it was knocked out multiple blocks, so it's a blackout. Why is it called a blackout? When it blacks out multiple blocks, it should be called a blackout. Anyway, it black, yeah, it blacked out like 5 schools and like a whole bunch of neighborhood areas. So they must have hit a transformer. Transformers, robots in disguise. Which I did find a transformer. Yeah, it's a thrift store transformer. I found some. They're not actual transformers, but I'll do videos. They're pretty cool. Anyway, anyways, this is ridiculous. Why are all these people out? Well, the reason, again, why all these people are out is because the blackout. It knocked the power out. And the only places that have power because they have generators and backup systems are, stores. So everybody's at the store intentionally shopping, and they really don't care if they have to wait in a long line, because they'd rather wait in a long line at the store where there's at least some heat and warmth than they would at home where there's literally no electricity, no power at all. So that's my theory. And you can't prove me wrong. Or can you? Can you prove me wrong? You're not in Memphis, are you? Then you can't prove me wrong. Anyway, that was just a random rant video. But seriously, these places need to have more than one cashier. That's just ridiculous. Anyway, if they would hire more workers and stop hiring people at part-time and give everybody full-time hours, full-time jobs only, and pay people actual decent salaries instead of paying people like, I don't know, $10 to $12 an hour, maybe they could find some more actual workers. See, because people don't want to work for these low-paying, no-hour jobs. They just don't. That's why they're looking for work. That's why all these places are hiring now. The only problem is none of them are paying. If you're going to hire, start paying. If you're going to hire, make it full-time. If you're going to hire, start paying. Higher wages. You want to hire us, we want higher wages. It's really that simple. You want us, we want more money. Something got to give. People would rather be unemployed, like me, for example. I would rather be unemployed than to accept the low pay that they're giving you. People, and that's what, and you know what the problem is with that is going to be? That's going to cause people to get even more in debt, because they're going to basically stop spending money except for on necessities like food. And they're going to just put all that food on credit cards. So they're just going to get into more debt in the long run, which is good. And then nobody's going to be able to pay that back because they're not going to get jobs. So what's going to happen is the banks are going to flop. We're making inflation worse. The solution is full-time. If the politicians cared about the people, they would pass the full-time only act. They cared. But apparently they don't care. They care more about the corporations than they do to the actual people voting them in. And no, you can't trust anybody with these ideas that they're going to give us free everything. When the government comes in and controls everything, nothing is free. Freedom is not free. When the government comes in and you have these liberals and leftists, socialists, communists, Democrats, and they go free, 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 free. You know that means taxpayer funded, right? Well, if you don't have any taxes, you don't have anybody working to pay taxes, you can't give all these freebies away. And you know what happens to freedom when the government steps in with the idea of give everything free? Well, they become your dom and you become their sub. submissive little slave. The government dominates you, takes away your freedom for free and becomes your dom. And you become a servant to the government because you're relying on the government to save me, the government to help, when you're not getting your butt out there and finding jobs. Now, I do think that Congress should come up with solutions. And the solution is full-time jobs, because if you give full-time jobs with all these bonus benefits starting on day one, you want to have to, and make sure it's 100% benefits. Like, okay, don't have these jobs where, okay, I get a job, but now I have to pay something, part of my paycheck, to get the benefits. How is that a benefit? That's not a benefit. Make it 100% the job has to pay for it. And make the jobs match, make all jobs match your 401k plans. All of them. And pass a law that says that when you switch jobs, they have to give you a raise. It can be a penny raise, but you should get something. You should make more money for going to the next job. Also pass laws that say the next job has to give you equal to equivalent position that your last job had. Makes sense. Make these laws, they make logical sense. Full-time with all benefits. Next job has to pay you more than your last job, so you're getting a raise automatically for switching jobs. Next, any job you get automatically has to promote you to the, or has to either give you equal, equivalent, or higher than your last job. So me being a shift manager means that actually, technically, I went down, because if these laws were in place when I had switched to Wendy's, they should have made me an assistant store manager to start with, and they should have paid me more than Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree had me as an assistant store manager. So if these laws were in place, I would have to become a assistant store manager or store manager at the next place I go to, if not higher. And they would have to pay me more money than the last place. See, if you had stuff like that in place with all the full-time and the benefits packages laws in place, you would you would create a system where businesses would have to compete to keep their employees. They would be like, I can switch. This job over here is offering me 25 cents more. And they would say, well, I give you 50 cents more, if you just stay. See? They would be able to compete. And places would have to be more inclined to promote internally than externally, because say I'm looking for another job, and my last job I was a manager. So that means anywhere I look, they have to hire me as a manager. Maybe they don't need that many managers. So that hurts them from hiring externally and does more promoting internally, but it kind of hurts the individual too, because the higher you get up on the ladder, the less people are on that ladder. So in a way it hurts, kind of, sort of. So anyway, all this should be optional though. So all jobs should be full-time unless you don't want a full-time job. And you should get promoted to the last rank that you were at a previous job unless you don't want to be promoted. So say you been all the way at the top and you're like, well, I don't want to be at the top again. So I just want, and you're like retired or something. So that's where the exceptions to the rule is. If you don't want it, or if you are like retired, or like senior citizen, or like college, or high school or something of that nature. Anyway, y'all probably don't care about this random rant video. Have a blessed day. Remember, God's good all the time. All the time, God's good. Keep on gaming. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. And have a great day. Laters.